Good evening. This evening's performance from Argyle Elementary features the Pioneer Sounds Music Group under the direction of Miss Amal. Hold on, sorry, Emilano. Sorry, I apologize. Pioneer Sounds is a variety group that includes singing, movement, and playing of various instruments. The group consists of third through sixth grade students who meet once a week. Several of the multi talented scholars before you are also part of Argyle's track team, robotics team, math team, safety patrol, all county elementary chorus, and drama club. All Argyle pioneers strive to chart paths and inspire minds. This evening, Pioneer Sounds will begin with a piece titled Dorian River. This piece is from Quaver, the county's online music curriculum. This piece displays the Dorian mode of music, which gives a melancholy yet hopeful mood. They will next perform Impossible is Possible by a hip hop duo called Black Violin, who are from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Their final selection is the first verse of America by Samuel Francis Smith, as well as the first verse of America the Beautiful by Catherine Lee Bates and Samuel A. Ward. Thank you, Argyle Elementary and Miss Wilhan for the wonderful artwork on display. Argyle Elementary demonstrates the great capabilities and potential of young artists in our community. The late Professor Elliot Weineiser, a pioneer in art and education, stated, "The arts teach children that in complex forms of problem solving, purposes are seldom fixed but changed with circumstances and opportunity. Learning in the arts requires the ability and willingness to surrender to the unanticipated possibilities of the work as it unfolds. Evidence of this is demonstrated in the artwork displayed today. Student artwork is focused on various topics, including the history of American folk art, the history of America told through the lens of the American bison, the architectural style and history of colonial houses, as well as the combination of color theory and science to depict the intriguing scorpion. Children who explore the nature of history, science, and humanity through the arts guarantee a bright future for our communities. In December of 2024, Argyle artists created hundreds of holiday cards and artwork that were donated to the 3 Brooksdale retirement homes. The art embodies compassion, discovery, innovation, and creativity, and are encouraged and celebrated at Argyle Elementary. This month, we have an additional art display that honors Autism Acceptance Month created by Miss Rich's ESE art class at Ridgeview High School. This display raises awareness and promotes understanding of autism spectrum disorder. Autism Acceptance Month emphasizes the importance of inclusion and acceptability, advocating for a supportive and empathetic society that empowers individuals with autism to succeed. And at this time, we are going to have Father Mason Wiggins from St. Catherine's Catholic Church from Orange Park lead us in the invocation.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. I'll just speak. Can you hear me now? There you go. Let's bow our heads, put ourselves in God's presence. Loving and gracious God, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you for all your blessings. Tonight, we ask your guidance and wisdom. You are the source of all knowledge and understanding. Therefore, we seek your direction in our decision-making process. Help us to listen attentively to one another with open hearts and minds. May we all seek to understand each other. We pray that you will give us the discernment to make the best decisions for the greater good. We pray for the successful outcomes of our school events and for all our staff members, both the teaching and support members. We ask that you bless them abundantly, and we continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. It is our privilege and our responsibility to support, foster, and advance the mission of Clay County Schools and education. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. May our words and actions be guided by your love and grace. All glory be to you, our loving and true God. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, I'm calling to order the school board meeting for April 3rd, 2025. Welcome, citizens of Clay County. I want to take the opportunity to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend tonight's school board meeting. This meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you wish to address the board on an agenda item, there will be an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Please fill out a card located in the side entry door indicating the specific item, number, or topic you wish to speak about, and turn it in promptly to one of our officers. If you have items that you would like to present to the school board or superintendent, please hand them to an officer who will distribute them accordingly. Speakers who wish to address specific agenda items will be heard following the recognitions and awards portion of the meeting. Speakers wishing to address non-agenda items will be heard following the adoption of the consent agenda. No additional cards will be accepted once the board moves to the public comment section under presentations from the audience. Your participation is welcome and appreciated. At this time, we're going to start off with Superintendent Mr. Broski for the recognition of Governor DeSantis' Black History Month and recognition of students' outstanding citizenship.
Okay, good evening, board. David Broski, my address is on file. Okay, it's my pleasure to be here to give out 2 awards this evening. The first one is for Black History Month. You know, each year Governor DeSantis and First Lady Casey DeSantis do a Black History Month essay contest, and with that, the winner gets a 2-year scholarship, so it's a pretty big deal. There's only 2 elementary winners in the whole state of Florida, and one of them resides right here in Clay County. Congratulations, and if you'd please come forward, Kiani McCown, 5th grader at Tynes Elementary School. Okay. She wrote her essay on Mary McLeod Bethune, who was a civil rights activist and the namesake of Bethune-Cookman University there in Daytona. Congratulations, Miss. Okay. Next, we have an Outstanding Citizenship Award. This young man, you know, how people react when they're in a dangerous situation or in a crisis really determines what kind of character you have. And this young man that we're going to celebrate today is for outstanding citizenship. Unfortunately, accidents do happen in life. And in Oakleaf, in the Oakleaf Junior High area, Nevin Luna was there when a child was hit by a car. And he had the presence of mind to stop, react to the scene, call 911, and was kind of cool as a cucumber under pressure. I'd like to be with this young person if I ever have an emergency, right? And so we kind of celebrated him. I know the sheriff's office had celebrated him, and we want to celebrate him tonight, an Outstanding Citizenship Award to Nevin Luna. Nevin, are you here? All right.
Next up, we have recognition of National Merit Scholarship semifinals. Ms. Treasure Pickett, Chief of Secondary Education, and Mr. Thomas Pittman, Principal, Fleming Island High.
All right, good evening, board and members of the community. Welcome. What we were going to do tonight are recognize some students that have been named the National Merit semifinalist. And so what we wanted to do was have someone come explain that and give us a little background on what these students had to do in order to earn this recognition. And so Mr. Pittman tonight is going to give us a little background because he himself is on the board for the National Merit Board of Directors. So there are only six secondary educators on this board nationwide. And so there are different groups, there are community groups and corporate groups, but educators, there are only six. And Mr. Pittman is one of, two or three that are actually from public school. So he is representing us and represents us on the board, and we appreciate that. So he's going to come and give us a little background, and then I'll recognize the students, and their principals are actually going to be able to give their awards to them because I thought that was fitting. They need something positive.
Just a few notes. Thank you, board, for allowing us to do this. This is a huge, and Mr. Broski also. If you don't understand what national merit is, it is huge. Huge, like major. So national merit was started in 1955. It's housed right now currently in Evanston, Illinois, outside Chicago. It's privately financed. It's a not-for-profit organization. And the competition is among U.S. high school students to identify and honor academically talented U.S. high school students. This past year for these 2025 graduates, there was 1.3 million students took this test in the fall of their junior year. So that would have been fall of 23. And across 21,000 high schools in the nation. They have a reading and writing section and a math section. From that, of the 1.3 million, it's come down to 16,000 semifinalists. So it is the cream of the cream. And the way they do that is they don't want to do it, they want to do it nationwide. So it's only the top 1% in each state. Each state has a different cut score. And so you have only with the top 1% in each state. And then they can move on to a finalist stage, which will open up more doors and stuff like that. In the state of Florida, they had 972 national merit semifinalists in the whole state of Florida. And we have 5 of them from across 260 high schools. We had 5 of them right here in our district. Take that now. You're looking at these kids. We had 5. If you take 1% of 3,000 graduates, we should have had around 30 in this district. These kids are 0.02% of our high school graduates. That's outstanding. You guys, and it opens up so many doors for you guys to be a national merit. It will carry on for life. You get so many scholarship opportunities. The state of Florida does an amazing job with this program. If you don't know, if you are a national merit semifinalist at any public university or college, the state of Florida legislation has put in what they call a Benequisto scholarship. It's pretty much a full ride. These kids, if they go to a state university, can bank money. We've seen kids that have gone and after 4 years have put $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 in the bank to go on to further in their education. So that's kind of what it is. It's a huge deal. We usually in this county usually have between 5 and 10 students, and I just felt that they really needed to be recognized because it's a huge deal.
Thank you. And as I read your name, students, come on up and we will recognize you. And congratulations for all that you have been awarded and that you have achieved. And we will expect to see great things from you. All right. Ms. Burke, come on up. We have Tristan Dukes from Keystone Heights High School. Tristan, if you'll just, when you're done, stand to the side, we'll get a group picture at the end, okay? Mhm. All right, thank you. Tristan, just slide over a little bit. And from Fleming Island High School, Mr. Pittman will present Ezra Garrison with a certificate. And then Mr. Pittman, poor Miss Murphy, she had a flat tire on the way here, so she's stuck on the side of the road somewhere. But Mr. Pittman's going to step in for her and recognize Ramon Morales from Ridgeview High School. Thank you. And Mr. Fluent is going to recognize two. Oakleaf had two students that were semifinalists. One of them, believe it or not, couldn't get off work tonight. So unfortunately, but we still wanted to recognize her. It's amazing that can achieve this award and still have a job, be working. Nyla Jones. Let's give Nyla a round of applause. And then a second student from Oakleaf High, Noah Navarro. Mr. Broski, will you come down with the group picture, please? All right, let's get a group picture. Principals and Mr. Broski with the students would be great. We got to get some ladies in there next year now. I know. And I just want to say thank you, students, but I want to say thank you, parents, as well, and teachers, all the educators out there that have played a role in developing these students. We greatly appreciate your support, and I know they'll give you some thank yous as well. So great job. We appreciate you, students, also, and how you're representing Clay County District Schools. Thank you.
Next up, we have Ms. Karen McMillan, Coordinator of Family and Community Engagement, with the recognition of Outstanding School Volunteer Award honorees.
Good evening, Board. Thank you for having us here tonight. You know, this month, April, is National Volunteer Appreciation Month, and we are here to recognize our 3 volunteers of the year. Mr. Broski, you're going to present their awards to them? Maybe I was a little short-winded on that. So I'm going to read some words that their school leader said about them. Our first one is our Student Volunteer of the Year, Michael Golden from Keystone Heights High School. Michael is a kind and dedicated student whose academic achievements are truly outstanding. He has not only excelled in the most challenging courses, including honors and advanced placement courses at Keystone Heights High School, but also in multiple college-level courses at Santa Fe College through our dual enrollment program. His active membership in the National Honor Society and consistent presence in the A honor roll are a testament to his academic prowess. As further evidence of his ability, Michael received a letter of commendation from the National Merit Scholarship Program. Moreover, His rank in the top 5% of his senior class for GPA is a clear reflection of his dedication and hard work. Michael has volunteered at Keystone Heights High School, both in the front office and with guidance. From showing new students to their classes to assisting with other clerical duties, he is always willing to assist. Additionally, he has dedicated numerous hours to multiple extracurricular events as a member of the National Honor Society. Thank you, Michael. All right, our next one is our Senior Volunteer of the Year, not to be confused with the senior in high school. Miss Ada Podolsky from Ridgeview Elementary. Affectionately known as Miss Ada at RVE, Ada Podolsky is a remarkably dedicated volunteer who spends nearly every school day building relationships and offering encouragement to students of all grades. With a significant focus on kindergarten, where she provides crucial support in early literacy and math through individual and small group work, and enriches learning with hands-on activities like science experiments and special projects. Her contributions extend to holiday celebrations, practical help, donated supplies, and handmade yarn crafts, demonstrating her deep care for student success. Over 3 years, her commitment has grown to over 30 hours weekly, directly benefiting many students and significantly impacting achievement by improving grades, enhancing reading fluency, and strengthening writing skills. She has helped foster the positive climate at RVE. Miss Ada Podolsky. All right, our last volunteer of the year, Miss Heather Smith from Middleburg Elementary. Heather Smith's unwavering dedication as a volunteer profoundly benefits our school community. Her extensive involvement in organizing and executing all school events and fundraisers is crucial to enhancing our students' educational experiences and fostering a strong sense of community. Additionally, her management of the PBIS supports school store effectively reinforces positive behavior among students. So not only has she won Volunteer of the Year here in Clay County, but she made it to one of the top finalists in the state of Florida. So we're very proud to have her and our other volunteers.
Next up, we have Mr. Chris Google with the Fine Arts Curriculum Specialist, recognizing the recognition of state thespians and recognition of band color guard, percussion, and wins championships.
Good evening, school board, superintendent, and community. Tonight, I'm excited to recognize several truly exceptional individuals within our district and their achievements at State Thespians. For those who may not be familiar, State Thespians is an annual event where theater students from across the state come together to showcase their theatrical knowledge, skills, and hard work. It's a platform where these young artists get to demonstrate their skills such as acting, directing, technical theater, and much more. The road to State Thespians is not an easy one. It requires countless hours of rehearsal, dedication, and determination. These students pour their hearts and souls into perfecting their craft, honing their skills, and mastering their performances. From memorizing lines to perfecting choreography, from designing sets to crafting costumes, they leave no stone unturned in their pursuit of excellence. Tonight, I am thrilled to announce that several of our very own students not only participated, but excelled at the State Thespians Festival, earning themselves superior ratings for their outstanding performances, which is the highest rating they can receive at Thespians. Their achievements are a testament to their hard work and dedication and the exceptional guidance provided by their dedicated teachers. Let's now recognize our students. Students I will recognize from each school in categories in which they received a superior rating at state. Students, as I call your entry, please come to the front to accept your recognition and remain up front until we conclude the recognitions. We will then have an opportunity for pictures with any teachers and admin who are present with their students. Our first school, Lake Asbury Junior High. In duet acting, Jaden Sims and McKenna Mack. And from Lake Asbury Junior High, in ensemble acting, Bella Schock, Brinley Victory, Ella Alcott, Jaden Sims, Kai Abrams, McKenna Mack, and Maya Johns. And from Lake Asbury Junior High, in publicity direction and in solo musical, Laura Payton. And our last one from Lake Asbury Junior High, in small group musical, Brinley Victory, Jaden Sims, and Laura Payton. From Fleming Island High, in solo musical, Ashlyn Ambergy. In duet musical theater, from Fleming Island High, Ashlyn Ambergy and Ellison Shipe. From Fleming Island High, monologue, Cash Belcher. From Fleming Island High, in solo musical, Carrie Hunter. From Fleming Island High, solo musical, Peyton Tyson. From Fleming Island High, in playwriting, Riley Rendelman. And from Ridgeview High, monologue, Jillian McKinney. Ridgeview High, solo musical, Lucy Bressler. And Ridgeview High, duet acting, Monica Bryce and Savannah Hudson. Teachers and admin, if you would join them up front, and let's all please congratulate our students one more time for their outstanding achievements at State Thespians. Congratulations, students. Teachers, please join real quick. That should be it. Awesome. Congratulations, students and teachers. And moving on, this evening, I'm also excited to celebrate the outstanding achievements of our fine arts students who recently competed in the Florida Federation of Color Guard Circuit, or FFCC, Indoor Championships. We saw a number of recognitions for the Outdoor Championships in November, so this is a separate season. The Indoor Marching Arts, encompassing winter guard, indoor percussion, and indoor winds, are highly competitive across the state, with high-energy performance activities that blend music, movement, and visual artistry. These ensembles rehearse extensively to perfect their performances, often competing against top programs from across the state. Their success is a testament to their dedication, discipline, and artistic excellence. The typical indoor season begins right after marching band championships and leads up to the indoor championships that took place last weekend in Daytona Beach. Each of these students, alongside their dedicated directors and plenty of staff, have put in countless hours of practice to achieve these remarkable results. Their performances represent not just musical and artistic excellence, but also teamwork, perseverance, and passion. This year, several of our schools achieved podium finishes, earning medals in their respective divisions. I would like to take a moment to highlight each category and recognize their achievements. Winter Guard is often described as the sport of the arts, combining dance, equipment with flags, rifles, and sabers, and intricate choreography all set to music. This year we had 3 schools who were recognized on the podium. Clay High School Winter Guard earned second place in the Illusion Division Regional A. Fleming Island Winter Guard earned third place in the Northeast Division Scholastic A. And Orange Park Winter Guard earned third place in the Paradigm Division Scholastic AAA. Indoor percussion ensembles blend marching percussion with theatrical performances, telling stories through movement and dynamic musical arrangements. This year we had 3 groups who made it to the podium. Fleming Island High School Indoor Percussion earned third place in McCormick's Division Percussion Scholastic A. Middleburg High School Concert Percussion earned second place in Percussion Scholastic Concert A, and Oakleaf High School Indoor Percussion placed second place in Percussion Scholastic Open. Lastly, the Indoor Winds is a unique ensemble combining brass and woodwinds in an indoor setting where performers bring stories to life through movement and music. And this year, Oakleaf High School Indoor Winds earned second place in Wind Scholastic A. So on behalf of the Fine Arts programs, thank you for your continued support of the arts in our schools, and can we please, through a round of applause, recognize our students who earned podium success.
All right. Next up, we have Mr. Steve Mills, Supervisor of Safety and Security, with a Safety and Security Quarterly Report.
Good evening, Steve Mills, Assistant Safety Specialist for the district. My address is 925 Center Street, Green Cove Springs, Florida. Superintendent, School Board, and citizens of Clay County, per Florida Statute 1001.212, the Office of Safe Schools is required to provide quarterly reports to the school superintendent and the school safety specialist, identifying the number and percentage of schools, including charter schools, inspected and re-inspected during the quarter that had no school safety requirement deficiencies. The school safety specialist is required to report this to the school board. Our results are as follows. In the third quarter of the 24-25 school year, Clay County District Schools had 2 schools inspected or re-inspected by the Florida Department of Education Office of Safe Schools. This represents roughly 4% of our schools. Our inspected schools were found to have no school safety deficiencies. This brings our running total on this year for 17 out of 21 state inspections passing with no compliance issues, 17 out of 21. Mr. Boyack wanted me to tell everyone that how he applauds the school leaders, the teachers, the school staff, the support staff for working together daily to keep our schools safe. And we're proud of everyone's efforts, and we're knowing that we can continue to prioritize safety. Finally, I want to let the public know how seriously their school board and superintendent take school safety. He greatly appreciates their support and guidance as we continue to go above and beyond what is required legally to keep our schools safe. And I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Next up, we have school showcase with Argyle Elementary Principal Mary Dorsch.
Hello, good evening. I want to say first thank you to, okay, I got to get used to this. I'm pretty loud, so I want to first say thank you to Superintendent Broski and the board for allowing Argyle to be here this evening. Before we get started, I do want to recognize the heartbeat of what makes Argyle great, and that is the faculty and staff. So I just want to turn our attention to the back of the room, and guys, I love you guys. Thank you. Yes. Thank y'all for being here. I also have both of my amazing APs with me. So, okay, let's get started. So, Argyle Elementary School this coming year will be celebrating 20 years of charting paths and inspiring minds together. This year, we really had the opportunity to think about 20 years of planting our flag. And so we rebranded Argyle this year. We aligned it to the Cambridge principles because we are a Cambridge school at Argyle. And we strive each day to be responsible, engaged, innovative, confident, reflective, and safe. Emotionally, behaviorally, and academically. And that is something that we really strive for. One of the things at Argyle that make us so special and unique is that we really embody what it means to be a pioneer, that we are making the way. We are planting our flag in all things, and that's what makes our community the best. These are the faces of Argyle Elementary School. As you can see, we have a good time at Argyle. Some of you have been out to visit us, and then some of you do plan to visit us later this year. And each day, it feels like family. It feels like a community. And we work together to reach our goals. We work together to support one another. And so when I was thinking about ways of showcasing, I couldn't just pick one picture because there are many great faces of Argyle. So let's look at some celebrations. Well, there is a lot to celebrate, but I was given a time limit. So we're going to look at 3 areas of celebrating. The first area that I want to celebrate is how we have really recreated a consistent language for our Tier 1. This year in the district, we've really talked about Tier 1 is not just academics, right? It's our behavior as well. And so we've aligned that to what it means to be a pioneer. So we embrace the Cambridge principles, and we have consistent Tier 1 behavior and language academically and behaviorally. And what that's done is it has actually shown students what is expected of them. It's given teachers the tools to empower students, and that we're all speaking the same language. We've also celebrate students in like our PBIS store once a month, and we've had over 1,300 passes where students are demonstrating the attributes of a pioneer, and then they're being showcased and highlighted for that success. And that is run by the faculty and staff. Another celebration at the very beginning of the school year, Superintendent Broski got up in front of all the leaders and he said, "Make attendance matter." And we took that to heart at Argyle. And so one of the things that we've done this year is we really have promoted and celebrated students for coming to school. We see that an increase in student attendance automatically increases student achievement. And so this year, our title department has done a really amazing job. Y'all rock, has done a really amazing job at highlighting attendance all year long, where students are celebrated. We mention it on the morning announcements. We have gotten our community involved. We post on Facebook every week of the students that received a punctual pass, and we highlight their attendance. And because we're having the conversation every single day at Argyle, look at the results. We were named the most improved student, the most improved school. That's all schools in Clay County for attendance. So we were the most improved. And then also back in December, our school site specialist was at a meeting, and we got a shout out for having the 3rd best attendance that week. And so our celebrations are because we have put these things in place for students. Another area to celebrate is our increased growth at Argyle. The systems are in place, right? We inspect what we expect. Our systems are in place. And because our systems are in place for Tier 1 in behavior and academics, we're seeing that students are growing at Argyle. And one of the things that we do together is we celebrate that growth because, guys, that growth has Argyle on track to move an achievement level this school year in school grade. And we are very excited about that. I did want to showcase more of the grade levels that were here, but again, I'm on a time limit. So if you could just look right here with me, if you can see in our 6th grade department, 77% of students in ELA are growing towards proficiency, 96 in math, 96. In 4th grade, 62% of students are growing, 95 in math. In 3rd grade, 81 in math. And then in 2nd grade, 79% of students are growing to proficiency and 83% in math. And that is because we're teaching in Argyle on all things how to be a pioneer. And it's the faculty and staff that do that each day. Some activities that we have at Argyle, we're very excited to bring more to Argyle next year. As y'all got to see earlier, our Pioneer Sounds Showcase to open the evening, and as well as our art students. Some other things that are great about our Argyle is our math team, our track team. I don't know if anybody was at the track event, but Argyle swept the house. And so we have a lot of first place medals and ribbons, and it was a great event. We also have robotics, drama, and then this year, when we think about safety, because it's a big initiative for the district, we worked with our students to create not just the safety patrol, but the pioneer patrol. Because again, that Tier 1 behavior, that Tier 1 language, we brought that into the safety patrol realm. In our safety patrol committee, they're working with the students, again, planting our flag and showing those attributes even in safety. These are some ways that our community has been involved with Argyle this year. First is our Title I events. We had the opportunity to partner with New Words Initiative at the beginning of the school year, and it was a great opportunity for our families to come out, have dinner with our families, and be able to give out some texts. Another thing that was great this year was probably the biggest success for a parent event is we did a Math Winter Wonderland event, and we were creative, and we had the event in the morning, and it really showcased, hey, I'm going to drop my kid off and then stay for an event. And when we read the feedback from that event, it was powerful. I remember reading one of the feedbacks and it saying, thank you for creating an opportunity for me to connect with my child. So we created this space where they could come in and be empowered in academics, but then create a space where they could work with their students. So it was a great event. Our rally for attendance, as you saw our success there, and it continues to go. We have our annual STEM night. Some community outreach is really led by a lot of our teachers. Ms. Miller is one of our big advocates for community outreach at our school. We've worked with Live to Serve. We got heard earlier about the holiday cards that our art department did. And then we're also doing a hygiene drive this year. Okay, so we have everything in place, and we're very excited what that has done for success of our pioneers in our school and our community, but we have goals. We know where we need to go. So our goals is to increase proficiency. We want to increase reading by 7%. Math, we want to increase overall proficiency by 6%. And science, it's a big goal, but I know we can do it, increase it by 9%. One of the things that we talk about at Argyle is not just like a quick fix. We say all the time we start small to build strong. And so how we start small to build strong is we want to build capacity in our K-2 classrooms where students are exiting those grade bands and they're reading. And so how we do that is partner with the district through Letters Initiative, PD, our coaching staff. They're wonderful. And we also work with them in our title department to really understand what it takes to take a child through the science of reading and have the opportunity for students to read. And so that has been a great initiative for us at Argyle. As well as we have designed a small group time where it is intentional, where students are meeting each day in small group to meet the needs of the students at Argyle. And then to end it, I just wanted to end it with a few pictures showing all of the great things that we're doing at Argyle. Again, we are continuing to chart paths and inspire minds together. Thank y'all for having us this evening.
Thank you. Culture matters, and you guys are doing a great job, it seems like, out there. So thank you guys. Last call for comment cards. And we're going to move on to presentations from the audience for specific agenda items. And first up, we have Miss Vicki Kidwell.
Good evening. Vicki Kidwell, my address is on file. Today, you're going to vote on the next insurance carrier for the Clay County District School employees. And all the employees want more affordable insurance. And whatever decision you make, I know you will choose based on the best interests of our employees. But I want to ask you to consider one additional thing. In Clay County District Schools right now, we have a robust wellness plan. There's incentives for fitness. There's a near-site clinic that employees can go to for free, costs them nothing. That access is really important. So please don't sacrifice the wellness benefits in your decision. We definitely want to save money, but we want the perks too. So I just wanted to put that out there so you'd remember it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have another one for discussion items, but it is for our public hearing. So at that time, just come up for the curriculum adoption. All right, that being said, we are going to start with discussion items. D1, self-insurance administrative services contract RFP number 25BA131 award RFP award. Do I have a motion?
I move that we direct staff to engage in a contract with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
All right, I have a motion from Ms. Gilhausen. Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, I have a second from Ms. Clark. Any discussion?
Being on the insurance committee, representative of the school board, to me, this is a slam dunk. We've had United for 8 years, and we had Blue Cross prior to that. But right now, we're faced with a $3 million a year difference, and it would be irresponsible for us not to take advantage of that. So, and this is a company that pays our claims, and they're considered a TPO. So it's very different from the actual what the plan covers. That is their role. So it's still up to the district, separate for premiums and for what is covered. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I totally agree with Ms. Gilhausen.
If we move forward, as Ms. Gilhausen said, Madam Chair, in light of the savings that we'll have by going to a new insurance carrier, Blue Cross, I would like to ask the board to work with the superintendent to bring back some recommendations on how to best use those saved funds to help teachers and staff. As one board member, I would like to see if some of those monies go towards whatever we decide, towards compensations or whatever the superintendent and the board can come to in agreement. But $3.4 million or $3 million is a lot of money. And I would like to make sure we safeguard that money to help the people who are benefiting from the program. That's all I have.
Any further discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Sorry, guys, just give us a minute to vote. All right, next up we have D2, Human Resource Special Action A. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Got a motion from Ms. Gilhausen. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Ms. Hanson. Any discussion? I'm sorry. See, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, we have D3, Human Resource Special Action B. Can I get a motion?
I'll move special action B.
I have a motion from Ms. Hanson. Can I get a second?
That's a motion for approval, correct?
Motion for approval.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll second.
I have a second from Ms. Gilhausen. Any discussion? See, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. At this time, I'm now going to open the public hearing to approve as advertised adoption of the K-5 English Language Arts K through 4 Mathematics Intervention and K through 12 Personal Financial Literacy and Money Management. You are not required to fill out a card, so at this time, if you would like to speak on this issue or this item, sorry, you can come to the mic and line up and we will. So Ms. Neely. And any others who would like to speak on this item can line up behind her.
All right, good evening. My name is Melissa Neely. I'm a Clay County teacher, and my address is on file. All right, I am here writing to you on behalf of every teacher that I've talked with about the K-5 curriculum that is being presented to you for your vote. I would like to preface this by saying that I was on the curriculum committee this year for second grade and was able to look at all curriculums that were presented. We also had a teacher in the second grade group that has taught Benchmark Advanced before and said how awful it is. Here are some things that I would like to point out to you after spending a few months researching Benchmark Advanced and the Wonders curriculum. With our growing ELL community, a curriculum that benefits them as well is extremely important. Benchmark does not offer anything but a glossary for our ELL students, whereas Wonders has an area for teachers to scaffold instruction for beginner, intermediate, and advanced ELL students. Benchmark is expecting second graders to write an expository essay, yes, essay, multiple paragraphs, the second week of Unit 1. We haven't been able to teach them what a subject and predicate is or how to properly form a complete sentence. This is absolutely not something they will be able to do even in the first quarter of school. We need to be very realistic here and not set the children up for failure. My second grade classroom is an inclusion classroom. I have students from 2+ years below grade level to a year above grade level. The Benchmark program does not provide adequate support for those who are below grade level and has a one-size-fits-all approach. Don't just think about my students, but the VE self-contained classrooms in our county who use the same adopted curriculum. These are paper booklets that the students are expected to keep for 3 weeks. The paper is the same material that we had for Studies Weekly. And have you ever tried to erase on those? You'll have ripped up books in no time. For phonics and grammar, I was told that we did not renew phonics to reading, which is why we currently have limited access in the online component. As I stated, I teach second grade. 1 page of phonics per week is absolutely not going to support a child learning to read if we are only able to use a curriculum. This area would need to be heavily supplemented. Let me also state that the phonics doesn't make sense. Why are we putting multiple phonics components together in 1 week? Short vowels, blends, and consonant digraphs in the same week? Absolutely not. This goes right along with the pre-made spelling list for the week. Second graders should not have words like we, go, and no mixed with problem, dentist, and napkin for spelling. Make this make sense. There's a 20-day foundations and routines unit. Looking at the scope and sequence for this 20-day unit, it expects us to teach every second grade phonics component in 20 days, teaching a new skill each day. Why would we do this? The curriculum is not student-friendly. The assessment questions are so far over their heads that you have to reword them. The lack of background knowledge for the stories make it difficult for students to understand Am I done? Keep going, okay. To understand what they're reading. The stories are also difficult for them to read independently. After doing a little research on how students score on the assessments, almost all teachers stated that the average score is a 60%. That's a D average. This curriculum sets unachievable expectations. Looking at Wonders had great stories that are engaging and grade level appropriate. They're hard-covered books that we'd be able to use for years along with workbooks for students. They have differentiated readers for students on different reading levels and even readers for our ELL students. They have a fast testing booklet, which will help second graders transition from STAR testing to the third grade fast test, because those tests do not align together. The writing component has real-world connections that students can relate to, and the writing sources are engaging. There are phonics games for students to play, as well as a phonics book. Is this curriculum perfect? No, but it is more academically appropriate for our K-5 students than Benchmark. If cost is the issue, please don't let that determine your final vote. Listen to the teachers who have used or done the research on this curriculum. Thank you for your time.
Okay, seeing no more, I'm going to close the public hearing. And I'm going to bring it back to the board.
Madam Chair, if I can be recognized.
Yes, sir.
I think that anytime that you have a new curriculum, there's always agreement and disagreement as to the best curriculum to adopt. And given this fact, and I did have a board member reach out to me, I've asked Melanie McIver from Reading to come forward and explain why this was the chosen item and how it was chosen. So this way there's greater understanding by the board and everyone else out there. I think sometimes there's miscommunication. So I think providing this opportunity would be beneficial for the board.
Madam Chair, we'll have discussion after the presentation then.
Hi, we have a visual for you to go along with this. I'm Melanie McIver. I am honored to serve as the supervisor of reading, and I know this is Clay, we are very passionate about literacy, and we want what's best for our students and for our teachers to be able to deliver that. And all of that is part of that decision making that we went into. So we really looked at the curriculum through what is the curriculum that will be most closely tied to the science of reading, and what are the components that would meet that for our students, and what would be the resources for our teachers. I feel very passionately about not having to go from here to here to here to pull resources for what's best for students. I wanted a curriculum that was all-encompassing as closely as possible, because there's never a perfect curriculum. So we really looked at all of those components to determine that. I will say that Benchmark, we are adopting Benchmark 2026. So Benchmark had a previous adoption, and they have rewritten a lot of the components within it. So phonics has been completely reworked. So one of the things about Benchmark to note, it is on slide 11 for you guys. It's a knowledge building curriculum. So it takes topics where the other curriculum is a basal based. It takes excerpts of readings. This is a knowledge building. So it revolves around 10 topics, and there's 3 weeks per topic, and every grade level is focused on that topic for those 3 weeks. And it scaffolds and builds to build that background knowledge that they would need as they grow in understanding. And we know that background knowledge and vocabulary are one of the key components. If I know what I'm reading about, I'm better to understand it for reading comprehension. So some of the topics are around sciences, social studies, government, economics. The other part of that is the phonics piece has been completely reworked. So we talked about from phonics to reading. That is through Wiley Blevins, who's a well-known researcher and phonics guru, as we like to call him. And Benchmark worked with him around their phonics. So slide 15, and I did not number them, I'm sorry. Slide 15 shows some of the components that comes with from the Benchmark. So it has a multi-sensory aspect to it, where students are truly engaging. It's not just a presentation. We don't just walk through it. They have the sound card. So right now we have Kid Lips. This takes care of that. We have From Phonics to Reading. This offers the same multi-sensory activities that From Phonics to Reading does, and then it's very explicit. It has the manipulative, so it comes with magnetic boards where students are interacting with the letters and sounds for K-2, and it builds. So we're talking about a scope and sequence that builds from the foundational skills all the way up through Greek roots, which all of our kids need in 5th grade. We have to get them to that more advanced phonics that would be open to all of the vocabulary as well. But not only that, it offers the decodables. So not only am I instructing, students have application practice. So it's not just a workbook page where they're having that application practice. They have the decodables that are in line with their scope and sequence. So as I teach skills, those are then spiraled into those decodables for students to apply immediately. And then in the little 3-week book, so it's a 3-week book, so then they don't have to have the big book. It's 3 weeks, and we interact in that. They have that application where they're also applying those things that they learn in phonics. So it's a very robust phonics. It offers a lot of online resources for teachers as well. There is a visual digital board where the teacher would model Elkonin boxes, all of the big hitting things for phonics that we like to see in instruction. Then on slide 18, it talks about what are the texts. So this is a knowledge building curriculum, so it goes along with that. So we take all of this, we're working within 3 weeks on a specific topic. So all of the vocabulary is built around that. The stories you're going to interact with, there are short stories, and most text, I should say, because a lot of those are nonfiction, and then it has a fiction that goes along with it. So we have, every unit has a reader's theater for students to interact with to build fluency and deepen understanding. Every unit has reading text to go along with it, authentic text. Teachers do a read aloud, and the teacher can choose. There are options. There are given options, or there is a list of options, or teachers can choose an option for a read aloud text for students. Then there's the guided practice with the 3-week book, and then there is the authentic text and other text available. So then the next part of that, and really it's about the application. So the vocabulary for the older kids, they are applying that in those texts. It is purposely set up so that you have that in the moment teaching with them as well, so that whatever you're doing through vocabulary or advanced phonics skills, they're applying within those lessons. There are writing and grammar lessons. The writing offers 2 types of writing: reciprocal writing, which is the response to reading, and also process writing. So it comes with a full thing about sentence writing, the grammar, how to embed that. It leads them and guides them through the 3 genres of writing that align with our benchmarks. And then for weekly assessments, one of the things that Benchmark lacked, and they really listened to this, is a way to assess students on how they are progressing each week within those benchmarks. So they have written exit tickets for daily exit tickets aligned with the classroom instruction with the benchmarks. So it's written using the benchmark stems in order to really dig down to see how are the students progressing with those benchmarks, so that I as a teacher get that information and data. The assessments online are aligned to Benchmark. Benchmark also provides the 3rd grade portfolio, so it comes with a portfolio that we can review with 3rd grade teachers, which is a big deal for 3rd grade teachers. And then they have that as just another source of progress monitoring. It comes with fast assessments for writing as well. So you can interact paper pencil writing, you can interact digitally with writing, so it mirrors what they would see on the fast assessment for 4th and 5th grade, and gives those teachers opportunities to teach that in that way as well. And it has a very robust intervention. So once I progress monitor my students through assessments, it gives me all the information for my item analysis to know where they are. And then it offers a robust intervention platform that provides the guided lesson and the student resources to go along with that, and all of the strands and components that are in the science of in Scarborough's rope. It provides family resources, so there are family letters in multiple languages. For each unit, there are family interactions for activities. There's the family website, and after 3 weeks, when the student takes their book home, on the back, there are family interactive things, so your student can go through this with you to talk about everything that you've learned, and then they have those interactive activities for families to engage with their children with. And then I have Cindy Johnson here. I didn't introduce her. Dr. Johnson is here. She is with the Instructional Resources and Materials Department, and she was really part of that adoption process. So we built committees based on teachers across the district in each grade level, K to 5. We had teams for that. We had parents for a parent committee that was there in attendance that day for they came for the training around, we have to use a state-provided rubric that really dove into the aspects, and are we aligning to the state requirements and statutes? So there were parents, we have teachers, we had district committees, our ELL representatives were there to look at that, because we do want to make sure, our ESE department, we do want to make sure that every student is represented in the material that we want to adopt. And the benchmark has those, it's aligned to WIDA, and each lesson tells you for which level of interaction or in which level of support a student would need, what are those instructional moves to assist those students at all of the levels. So there is a robust teacher resource that is available. Now, one of the things with benchmarks is that there's a lot of materials, so it is our goal, job, responsibility as the literacy team to make sure that we create a curriculum guide that really helps you as the teacher, like, what do I need? What am I doing with the materials? So we have a very robust plan for professional learning and for providing those curriculum guides to say, how do we use all this together to train teachers, to make them feel comfortable in this material, and proud to be using this material, because I do feel like it offers a very robust resource for teachers that truly allows students to engage and interact in reading, to speak, listen, write, read, all of the components that we want our students to do so that they can grow as readers. Because reading is, to me, that it's what opens the doors for futures, right? It's not just a subject we teach. It's that it really is. Reading is fundamental. So I don't know if there were any other questions about the process. Dr. Johnson can help answer that too.
Does the board have any questions for the district on this? Okay.
And we would be happy to show you any of the materials if you'd like to see them too.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Blocker, before we can have discussion, do we have to have a motion, or can we just discuss? All right, motion, okay. At this time, can I get a motion?
I'll move approval.
I have a motion from Ms. Gilhousen. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Ms. Clark. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Ms. Hanson?
Now would be the time, right? Yeah. So my heart's heavy when we talk about $3.4 million spent on curriculum. In 2005, believe it or not, we didn't have all this kind of curriculum. Our reading scores were higher than they are today. I know because I taught out at Wilkinson Junior High School. We were C school, and a whole team of teachers got together and decided to be very unorthodox. And we taught through novels. We taught benchmarks in outside of the box ways without all of this stuff. Principals would say that master teachers could teach with nothing but a chalkboard and a piece of chalk and a good book. That is what I grew up in the 60s. I'm not saying that we did not select what we consider to be the best curriculum at this time. But the more we talk about how robust something is and get away from engaging in training and best practices, we're so focused on getting something that helps everybody do everything packed into these things that now what we have is, I served on the State Materials Committee for 3 years, and I was the one selecting books for the state of Florida. 300 textbooks and curriculums would show up at my house every summer, and I would dive through those with these rubrics. So I want to tell you as a board, it is a big money operation. Nothing I ever read was great, but we had to pick something, so whoever worked out best on the rubric, you could literally develop curriculum so that you did well on the rubric. Thoughts about, is it engaging? Well, the kids read better. Like, that was always my question. Is this pile of books I'm looking at going to make better readers? And I'm going to tell you the answer is no. Better readers come from master teachers, better teachers engaging kids in great ideas and great thought. Because when they can critically think, they can absolutely pass any test ever put in front of them. So this, I'm going to tell you what my problem is. We have at the state level maybe 10 different platforms we could choose from. Some are technical only, online. Some are like this. As a district, we picked, I believe, 4 different things, and the curriculum committees came in, I think, and narrowed it down to 2. The biggest problem I have is in a time of uncertainty, when we are not sure about budget cuts and monies coming from the state of Florida, that we're going to choose a curriculum that barely more than 50% of the teachers who responded approve of. When I visit schools, we're at almost like a 50-50, $3.4 million for a 50-50. And what I guess I'm going to ask Mr. Broski, is this like a hard date, like we have to have this curriculum? Are we in our 7th year? Are we in our 5th year? Because more stuff doesn't always make us better readers. The right stuff makes us better readers. And so I can't really lead the conversation forward because I'm not sure where we're at in that. Are we 7 years? Are we a hard date? 5 years? Where are we at?
I can help that. We have one more year left on our current K-5 ELA adoption, which is SAVIS.
Is that 25, 26? Next year?
Next year, yes. We have one more year. What we do is we can reorder. We do pay for shipping, so that cost would be part of that. But we have one more year left on the adoption. And for K-5 ELA at the state level, only 5 companies bid. When I sent out the course call back in last August, only 4 companies responded.
It's limited, especially because it has to be Florida benchmark aligned, so.
Right, and so we will know this month the ones that the state approved. So, they say April, so we know how that works. But sometime in April, we will know exactly which ones the state approves.
And so my thinking, and of course I'm just one person, and I'm talking from my heart tonight, we may not have the funding. Mr. Broski and I were talking about this just the other day. We do not know right now the uncertainty of the amount of money that counties in Florida are going to be receiving. We just don't. There is a lot of discussion at the state level about cuts. It's almost as if they don't think past how does this cut affect a district like Clay County. I would say I would be happy if we have another year where you can reorder, that we wait, 1, because of the money situation, and 2, maybe that gives the district more time to let this 50-50 split get more engaged in trying to figure out why we don't like something, why we like something. Because I'm thinking we do have the very best here, and for me, this isn't even about selecting the best curriculum right now. It's just the concern that when you change curriculum, It is a great deal of hardship on teachers to change. It is a lot of training. It's redeveloping lessons. I mean, you're saying they could just go through this book and just use everything pre-made?
No, so what I'm going to say is this, is that I completely agree with you, right? At the end of the day, we want to pick the most effective resource that is going to be based in evidence and scientifically proven to teach children how to read. And again, like you said, my point being, like, I want kids to passionately learn how to read. I want to open doors of opportunities, just like Melanie said. And just like Ms. Neely stated, there is no perfect curriculum. There are going to be gaps. Our current curriculum has significant gaps, such gaps that we have to supplement, like Ms. Neely stated, from phonics to reading. So we are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every year supplementing our current curriculum because it does not meet our needs. We have a phenomenal literacy department that wasn't established 5 years ago, right? And so with that department, and there's only roughly, I mean, how many people do we have?
There are 5 of us, including me.
There are five members that service almost 19,000 students in 28 elementary schools. So with that being said, they've spent a tremendous amount of time digging into the standards, analyzing, what's missing in the gaps of instruction in the curriculum for K to 5, and it's significant. So what we know is we have to do better. And we're going to continue, and we really only will have these 2 choices. So whether it's this year or next year, it will only be 2 choices. My team is ready to deploy in completing and updating curriculum guides, providing and building professional learning, because like you said, it's going to take time, right? Like, it's just like when we speak about teachers and the science of reading. The work and the professional learning has expounded itself tremendously for all of our teachers and leaders in schools, and we're trying to keep up. What I'm going to say is we've done a lot of research in both the Wonders as well as Benchmark. If you look at any of the information in ESSA, if you look at the Reading League, there are concerns with Wonders. I'm going to tell you, as somebody just like yourself who spent my whole career with special education as well as teaching intensive reading at the high school here at Fleming Island High. So I'm very familiar with the gaps and what happens if we don't have a strong foundation, and our current curriculum does not have a strong foundation.
Question?
Yes.
About that? So when we pick these 2, Wonders and Benchmarks, Wonders, has it not updated or upgraded itself since 4 years ago?
Wonders reminds me of where we were with Treasures. So I'm just trying to make a visual correlation, whereas I feel like Benchmark is where we want to go. I think we all feel the same thing. We all want our literacy instruction and our students to improve their skills. We don't want to be sitting at 61% of our students being proficient. Our goal is the same as yours, as well as all of the people in the public and parents. We want our kids to be readers, and we want them to be able to meet the standards where they are, and that's what we feel based on the information that was provided, based on the review, based on the digging into all of the materials K to 5, that Benchmark is going to be our best bet moving forward. And unfortunately, those are our 2 options.
Do you know what supplemental programs that would save us money that you'll be eliminating?
From phonics to reading, Hegarty, Kid Lips, spelling through morphographs. So we basically have
Do you know about how much money that is, by chance,
Not
off the top of your head? I mean,
No,
I know.
I wish I should have that
I am
information.
probably everybody's worst nightmare right now, but.
No, you're fine.
Probably about $400,000 when all is said and done.
And then my second question is, why right now? Why a year early?
Because our current curriculum has significant gaps, and if we have to, whether it's this year or next year, we're going to have to replace that curriculum.
So if you can just entertain me, just one more question. The significant gaps include what with Wonders? Because I actually like what's included and the interest level of what's included, and it's a real kind of like easygoing reading system.
And you just said it's easygoing.
But I don't know if that's necessarily bad. I think teachers are also supposed to be the reason we teach. And I mean, if you teach SIPs, you can make it a little harder even though you're following the script. So I think what I'm asking is, this is it, and you feel like if we don't do it right now versus next year, that, what particular gaps would be the worst for us?
So looking at 4th and 5th grade, what is offered in Savis does not get to the depth and rigor and does not align to benchmark, which is why our 4th grade previously on their results were not what we would want them to be. So this year, even though we knew we would only have 1 year left, my team went in and rewrote all of that. However, it's still a Band-Aid. It still doesn't offer teachers something that is to the depth that they need in order to grow our students. They are doing the best that they can with what we have. It's just not to depth. It also, so when you think about it, we have to supplement, which means then I have to make this square peg fit into the round hole. So my students are getting this on the outside, but they're not being able to apply it all the time within what we're doing that week because it doesn't mesh well. Within benchmark, they make it so that what I'm implied, it's embedded within it. Our phonics skills, right now our teachers can't use the decodables that come with Savis. They're not aligned to the state statute, which is one of the reasons why we are going through adoptions early. The materials don't always align to make sure that we're not using the 3 queuing system and that we have that explicit instruction that goes along with everything. So it really is, we have provided a lot of resources, but that is also an extra step for the teachers to pull all those together. We tried to simplify things for them by pulling it together in our curriculum guides and offering them those things so that they don't have to go digging and trying to find things. Whereas Benchmark has it and it's all embedded. Will it take training? Absolutely. Do we have a pretty robust training plan? We have come up with one that I think that will meet the needs for those teachers to make everybody feel more secure in it. And a lot of it are things that they're already doing. They're already doing a lot of the phonics pieces, but they're having to find and pull it. So this would allow them to do that. One of the things that I liked about when I reviewed Wonders, one of the things I loved about it is some of the visuals that it offered. Well, when I got digging into Benchmark, Benchmark offers the same thing, but they offer it in a way where the teacher creates it with the class. Sorry, I just put gum in my mouth right when I fall up here. And I hate that. But they build it with the class. So Benchmark offers it where we're building it as a class, whereas Wonders offers it as a ready, set, go. We've already offered that in the items that we've provided, but it's just a different way of looking at it that we're building those with the classroom.
Is this something like we're going to add it to a curriculum map and everybody has to stay on the map and teach everything a certain day and these are all the things you need to teach? Is it like that?
Do we provide a guide, especially for our new teachers who don't have the same pedagogy as us? Absolutely. Do we allow some flexibility in what they pick and choose? Yes.
Because it sounds very scripted and very so comprehensive that I feel like if we adopt it, I would hate for people to fall into that, especially master teachers, you need to be doing this and this.
And
this.
what I would say and add, because you had asked this earlier, is the instructional practices that are embedded within the program are the ones that are those high leverage practices that are going to teach the teacher as they teach. You know, when we think about direct explicit instruction, when we think about scaffolding learning, when we talk about modeling and describing in lessons, those things I feel are more embedded and more representative in the benchmark curriculum. So that is happening naturally. And so versus a lot of times other curriculum is not as explicit.
Would you consider it confining to a master teacher?
I think we allow our teachers to have some autonomy in how they deliver the instruction. We're giving them, again, curriculum is a resource and a tool that we give to you.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's, and we give you a guide to say, because again, we have a responsibility to ensure that certain standards are taught every year. So this is the vessel in which we're going to give to you that's going to give you the tools that you need to teach your children. So if I'm a master teacher, I would probably be able to, it's a resource. And again, we have master teachers who create their own, formative assessments, pulling standards and pulling passages from other locations, that they vet, and then they put together a lesson that does those standards. So again, it is a resource, it is a guide, and it's, and it's something that we know that they can use and that it's going to teach the children alongside them.
And really, it's using those assessments, like you say, I need to know where my students are. It really is all dependent upon the people that are in front of me, right? So those exit tickets that give you information, the phonics tests that they would take, assessments that they would take, that's not a spelling test. It really is about the phonics decoding. And then the assessments at the unit will tell you, where do I need to stop with my kids, or what do I need to slow down? Do I need to offer something different? So really, it is being responsive like that.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys. It's just, let me tell you, when you teach all those years and we go through this is great.
Yes.
And then the very second we get a chance to get rid of it, it's gone. It's not great. This is better. I mean, it just seems like a lot of money in a vicious cycle.
And I understand that responsibility. I'm going to tell you, being the chief of elementary education, literacy is my number. Like, if you talk to anybody in this county, like, they're going to talk to you about a multi-tier. I talk about a multi-tiered system of support and how we serve children. And I want to ensure that all of our children are literate citizens. They have that civil right. So at the end of the day, those two things are important to me. So, like, do I worry that, is this the best curriculum I've ever seen? No. Do I feel like I've seen publishers who slap a science of reading label on their materials and say that it's evidence-based, and then we find out that they're missing all types of things? Yes, we do. This, I feel, not only do I feel like the most confident in this instructional component, I also feel that they've been the most responsive when we've had a question, a concern, if we feel like something is missing, if we ask for more, they have been Johnny on the spot. We have not seen that with other publishers.
Thank you for taking your time. I know it was last minute, but it's a huge concern when you always have like that 60-40, 53-47 split, because that means we're going to go into a realm where half of our teachers are unhappy.
Well, and I'm
You
going to
know.
tell you, when we looked at math instruction, we were in the same place when we adopted Eureka Squared a few years ago. And again, there's an implementation curve, right? No matter whatever we get, there's going to be an implementation curve. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to serve and support and provide the resources and professional learning that they need so that they can be the best they can be in the classroom.
And I
just
guess
want you to know that
as
that's our
like a
number one
romantic person, like you're thinking about like the glory would be, we just use that once in a while, this $3.4 million curriculum, and really start engaging in what kids really want to read and bringing back that love of reading and not just being focused on a test. Sometimes I feel when they're this robust, that leaves very little room for that other part, which is real important too.
We want authentic opportunities.
Well, and
too.
I say, when you say robust too, it's also, it's having those opportunities for students. So if I'm a new teacher, I don't have to go find them. I can have the song that for kindergarten, I can have the activity in first grade that is all right there, and I don't have to spend my time trying to find it as a new teacher. So it's really trying to fit the needs of those new teachers, and then offer those master teachers those, what am I going to do and use, and what is valuable for my students.
Can I ask a quick question? Is this comparable at all to RIGS? Would you say that it's similar to what we used to use when RIGS was?
So, I did not use RIGS.
Okay.
So I was at a Title I school and we used something completely different. But it's not the same as RIGS. Did you use, you don't, yeah. I can't make that correlation. I don't have enough information. I know this much about RIGS.
Okay.
Yeah. I just remember the handwriting script in RIGS. I think that's what I remember from RIGS.
Okay.
That's what stands out for me.
Well, when you say robust, that's what I think of. RIGS was incredibly robust system of teaching phonics and reading, and deeply grounded in the science of reading as well. So,
and I think sometimes it's that you need the simple, but you also have to have the things to make it simple. I need to be able to hone in on the exact thing that I need, because sometimes more is too much, right? But if you don't have those things, then I'm searching for more. I'm searching for that thing. This gives you enough so you don't have to start a search somewhere else. It's here for you to be able to choose from for your kids.
And I will say that I'm really incredibly proud of our district and our support, that if you would have come into classrooms, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, teachers were digging in and paying for resources through teacher pay teacher because we didn't have the resources available.
No, it's true.
And so now that's where we've been very thoughtful about our use of our art money, and our other funds to ensure that we give people the right interventions and resources that they need, so that when they choose what they need, they have it available to them.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? All righty, so at this time, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, or any opposed?
Nay. Opposed.
All right, vote carries 4-1. We will be moving on to the consent agenda. We have a proclamation number 25-13 to establish May 5th through the 9th, 2025 as Teacher Appreciation Week in Clay County, and Tuesday, May 6th, 2025 as Teacher Appreciation Day. Proclamation number 25-14 to establish April 21st through 2025 as Administrative Professionals Week, and Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025 as Administrative Professionals Day in Clay County. Proclamation number 25-15 to establish May 6th through 12th, 2025 as National School Nurse Week. Proclamation number 25-16 to establish April as Month of the Military Child, and Wednesday, April 16th, 2025 as Purple Up Day for Military Kids Day. At this time, can I get a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I'll move approval.
I have a motion from Ms. Gilhausen. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Ms. Hanson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. At this time, we will have presentations from the audience, and we will start with Ms. Constance Higginbotham. And we will place our rules on the slide, and remember, you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Gotcha. Hi, my name is Constance Higginbotham. I'm with the Clay County Education Retired, and we're here tonight because for the 3rd year in a row, we sponsored a Black History Month essay contest for elementary students in grades 4 through 6, and we want to recognize our winners. We want to thank them for staying because I know they have a writing test tomorrow also. 3rd place in the competition is Michael Bellancourt from Orange Park Elementary. And Michael's teacher, Miss Stevens, is here. And he gets a certificate and $25 in cash. All righty? So if you'll stand for a picture, Michael. You want a picture with Miss Stevens too? Okay. Our 2nd place winner had to leave because they hadn't eaten dinner yet. Lacey Swearington from Clay Hill Elementary, and her principal is here, if you'd like to come up. She gets her certificate. The principal doesn't, the child gets a certificate, and she got $50 in cash. And our 1st place winner is Maya Westfall from Orange Park Elementary. And Maya will get her certificate and $100 in cash. Thank you very much.
Next up is Shannon Hubie. And I forgot to mention, state your name and your address at the mic, please.
My name is Shannon Hubie, and my address is on record. Good evening, Superintendent and members of the board. April is Autism Awareness Month. I used to use this month to educate those around us, but now it's about celebrating differences, progress, and boys who have climbed far more mountains than we have, and celebrating the people who have helped them get there. We have 6 kids, 5 boys, crazy, wild, busy, smart boys, and each of them is exactly who they are supposed to be, and our equally busy, beautiful, and smart daughter, all products of Clay County Schools. The littles are autistic. They are so many other words to describe them, and they are written on papers, shoved in a drawer, words too sad to read all in a row. They feel like a heavy weight when we do. And while they are true, they don't mean all that much to us as parents anymore. For far too many years, we let these words predict their futures. We let these words consume us, and we lost joy for a while, but not anymore. These words do not determine their futures. They do not determine their worth. They are exactly who they are supposed to be, who God created them to be. And we promise you that they will live amazing lives. Do you know that when Bryce was diagnosed with autism at the age of 5, not one person told us anything positive about autism? No one. No one told us the absolute joy that he would bring to the world. They only told us the hard, the scary. They told us about the darkness. They told us that these boys are the lights that everyone needs in their lives. I stand before you today to let you know how incredible this year has been. It has been the first full year that my boys have been in general education with the dedicated support of their paraprofessionals and the outstanding teachers who have worked to ensure that they are not just present, but truly included. Inclusion is not just about being in the room, it's about belonging. And this year, my boys have belonged. We wouldn't be where we are right now had it not been for the amazing village we have built along this journey. The teachers, classroom assistants, occupational therapists, speech language pathologists, bus drivers, and mentors that have all worked and loved our boys. We've been blessed with teachers who chose to go into special education and to focus on students with autism. Teachers who go above and beyond to help our students. This year has shown us what is possible when we believe in every child, when we presume competence and provide support they need to succeed. It is proof that when we follow the IEPs, when we ensure that free and appropriate public education is truly honored, and we work collaboratively, all students benefit. As we move forward, I urge the district to continue this momentum. Let's ensure that every child has access to the support that they need from the start, so that no parent has to fight for inclusion, because inclusion should be the default, not the exception. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Sylvia McCraney. As a student, please do not give me your address.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sylvia, and I'm a senior in this district, and I've come here again to talk to you about book bans. The shelves in our libraries are getting emptier and emptier by the day. My school's library has recently been renovated, and hiding behind the facade of the new beanbag chairs and a fresh paint job is something that I will refuse to go unnoticed. Our library used to have bookshelves lining all the perimeter walls, and they were once packed full of cherished books. Over the years, the books began disappearing, leaving many of the shelves without the beloved stories that used to inhabit them. Then came the renovation. This redesign left us with maybe half of the previous shelving, and they are all almost empty. This new look has nothing to do with school pride and nothing to do with giving the students a fresh new space. It has everything to do with hiding the horrific truth. I firmly believe that the purpose of this new look was to hide the vanishing books. However, I'm here to tell you that you will never be able to hide the truth. We want our books back. We have had enough with these books. These book bans, sorry. More students have come to speak here today because this isn't just a qualm that only I have. This is an issue that is outraging many of the students trying to get an education. You say the purpose of these bans is to get porn out of the schools. Then why do you ban I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings? Why ban Sophie's Choice? Why ban Beyond the Chocolate War? You are not removing porn, you're removing the stories that don't fit in with your rhetoric. Even books mentioning murder, death, and suicide are being banned. Up front, this might seem logical. However, I believe these books also belong in our libraries. The unfortunate fact of the matter is that many kids go through tragic events and even the deaths of loved ones. These books can help students understand what happened, allowing them to properly grieve and process their emotions. No one has ever killed themselves or others solely because of a book. Maybe the energy you invest in banning books, you should invest in mental health programs. You say you're just doing your jobs, that every book you ban follows the state regulations. Then why does Clay County have the most banned books in not just all of Florida, but all of America? And you wonder why reading scores are so bad, and you ban all the books, but what will all the students read? You don't need to ban every book that comes across your desk. I don't think I don't think every one of you sitting up there believes in the book bans. I think some of you, at least one of you, hates the idea of banning books, but I think you are too scared to stand up for yourselves, too scared that you'll upset your colleagues, too scared that when re-election comes around, you won't be the first choice on the docket. It's time for you to stand up for yourselves, stand up for the students, and stand up for the books. You have the power to challenge these book bans. The world around you is changing, and it's time for you to decide what side of history you're going to be on. It's time for you to step up and speak out. We, the students that you are hired to make decisions for, and we are telling you what we want to happen. Will you serve the students, or will you serve only yourselves? The choice is yours, but I implore you to make the right one. Doing the right thing won't be easy. Going against the bans won't be easy, but we are in a time of crisis, and action is needed to be taken right this minute. Thank you.
Next up, Mia Bryan. Mia Bryan.
Good evening. My name is Mia Bryan, and I am currently a student who's concerned about today's issue about book bans. I should preface this by saying that my speech comes from my heart, from the anger of seeing the destruction made towards the libraries. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize to all the individuals who have been hurt and repressed to the point where you seem it fit to repress others. The banning of books, the banning of knowledge, is a repression of our rights. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution protects individuals from governmental censorship, affirming the right to express ideas, opinions, and beliefs without fear of repression. Banning books undermines this fundamental right, as it reverses individuals from accessing a wide range of ideas and information. As Justice William Brennan noted, the loss of the right to speak freely, the right to think freely, is a loss of a fundamental right. Our ancestors moved to this land for freedom, so I question now, why are you trying to undo that? Who are you to try and repress one of the most important rights that we have? Banning books, particularly those that address controversial topics such as race, gender, or sexuality, limits students' ability to engage with social issues. For instance, the works of authors like Toni Morrison and Maya Angelou provide vital commentary on the African American experience and challenge readers to confront uncomfortable truths and racism in history. Eliminating access to this literature not only impoverishes educational curricula, but also reinforces ignorance and intolerance. Now, let's look at history and understand the historical context of censorship. History provides numerous examples of the consequences of censorship and book banning actions undertaken during authoritarian regimens. In Nazi Germany, for example, thousands of books were banned and burned as a means to control thought and suppress people. This form of censorship aimed to create a culture that conformed to state ideology. Such historical precedents remind us of the dangers of allowing any group to dictate what literature is allowed. Now, do you really want to be associated with this group? The banning of books can also have far-reaching psychological and social impacts on individuals. When books are banned, individuals who identify with the narratives within these texts may feel marginalized and invalidated. This feeling can lead to a sense of alienation and reinforce societal stigmas. A study by the National Coalition Against Censorship found that when books for materials are banned, it sends a message that certain voices and experiences are less valuable or less legitimate than others. This exclusion can have particular detrimental effects on young readers who rely on literature to understand their own identities and the world around them. By banning books, this addresses that address issues like mental health, identity, or social justice. We risk denying our young individuals critical resources for personal development. I hope you can understand what I said and take it into consideration. Thank you.
Connor Bryan.
Hello, my name is Connor, and I'm a senior in the school district here to talk about book bans. As a queer transgender teen, I'm increasingly concerned over the facts of books being removed from my district school libraries every day. Since elementary school, I knew I was different from other kids. What continuously helped me was the queer representation I was able to freely access in my elementary and middle school's public library. Every time I would see a book mentioning people like me who felt the same things I did, I would feel safe in my skin. Those growing up in this day and age do not get the same privilege as me with the number of books with LGBT themes getting banned increasingly every school year. How ironic of a time do we have to live in where books titled Ban This Book and Banned Books Clubs are on the banned books consideration list? This school district is one with the most banned books in all of Florida, which grows increasingly concerning. You say we only ban things deemed illegal, yet what do these numbers mean? What do we feel the need to hide the children from despite everyone else believing it is safe? Do we have unknown insights others don't, or are we misusing our powers of keeping children safe to further push an agenda of keeping others in the dark? You argue that you want to ensure students have access to a world-class education and be lifelong learners, yet ban books with the most simplistic ideas of thoughts beyond what is learned in standard courses. The only place in where banned books don't apply are AP courses, which severely limits the amount of students who can seek knowledge beyond their programs if choosing to do so. One example being the book Brave New World, freely taught in AP yet banned from a school library. What is different about an AP student than a student in a regular class? Both students are in the same level of maturity, yet one has better resources than the other. How is this letting all students have a world-class connection? You say when they critically think this will help students pass all tests, yet you take away the same types of books that will help the same students critically think. My school had the honor to have the opportunity to be able to put on the show Fahrenheit 451, adapted by Ray Bradbury. We have never had to ask for permission to do a show before this point. Why is it now that we had, when doing a play about Bradbury's dystopian society and where books containing banned ideas were burned? In the words of Aldous Huxley, that's just like you, getting rid of everything unpleasant instead of learning to put up with it. Whether 'tis better in the mind to suffer the stings and arrows or outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. But you don't do either, neither suffer nor oppose. You just abolish the slings and arrows. Do not abolish our slings and arrows for your convoluted ideas of saving children. Let us learn freely and let us grow. Thank you.
Mr. Yule. Mr. Yule. Name and address, please, sir.
My name is James Ewell, and my address is on record. I've been increasingly interested in watching the workshops that y'all have, and they're very, very hard to understand and hear. A lot of times, you hear the typing of somebody in there. It's really difficult to determine what was asked, what was said, and there's other participants that sit around the side that if they have a reply, we can't even understand what they're saying. Surely the district can somehow come up with a much better way to broadcast those workshops so that everybody can be understood, what's going on, and not have to scratch our head and say, well, gee, I didn't hear what they said then. I have no idea what that means. With all the excess equipment that the county has probably stockpiled in schools, I'm sure you can come up with some more microphones and reposition a few people in this workshop area so that everybody can really understand what's going on and hear every word and questions that are asked. I think the school board owes that to the general public, and I hope you take this into consideration. And if somebody has brought this information up beforehand, I apologize for being redundant, but I just happen to be a person that's just recently started listening and paying attention like I wish a whole lot more people would actually do out there in the public. But anyway, please address this issue, and I look forward to hearing everything a little clearer next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Torres? And Mr. Friedman, you will follow.
My name is Sheila Torres. My address is on file. Once again, and I will continue to come up here and speak about accountability. Now, with that being said, I'm going to readdress what has been going out there. I know now for a fact that Clay County District has been given a lawsuit from a parent because of the hazing incident that happened in a particular high school called Clay High. It is brought to everybody's attention. It's no more rumors, it's no more hearsay. There are important information that are within that document. A child got hurt, a staff member was aware. What happened? That's one of the stuff. The other one is that, of course, Fleming Island coach, PJ, what I don't seem to understand within that disposition, the reason why he wasn't prosecuted, not because there was insufficient evidence, it was because of the statute of limitation. Therefore, that man should not have been allowed to have access to none of the students within the high school. There shouldn't be a reason why he was shuffled into Bannerman. No coach should have been there. The fact being that when parents, children speak upon the treatment and the behavior, they get retaliated. It shouldn't be like that. We should not be out here protecting the incompetence or the perverted minds of this adult. Our job is to protect our kids, and this is getting ridiculous with time being. Now, with that being said, why is all of a sudden Fleming Island, March the 27th, looking for a wrestling coach? This should have been done way before that. Why is PJ going to Bannerman? Why is it the public is not notified about what's going on? We are entrusting our kids, and yet this is getting out of control. This should not be swept under the rug. Every single moment that you guys stay quiet, evil prevails. The only way that we can fight evil is by standing up against it. And when it takes people that are aware of the situation that is ongoing, that's when evil triumphs. And I'm one that is willing to die on this hill when it comes to protecting these kids. And the fact being that now family is being retaliated because they can't speak what happened to the children, that is an issue. The fact being that y'all want to promote all these workshops, do you guys do any mandate reporting workshop? Do you guys speak upon what happens in failure to report? Because you, as a professional mandate, have to report this. And this should not continue. Nobody should be retaliated, coerced, or extorted for speaking the truth. I am a witness firsthand because that happened. So if that happened to me for speaking and advocating for my kid, I can only imagine when somebody is speaking upon their child getting harmed.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. Thank you. Mr. Friedman, you're next.
Bruce Friedman, address on file. Last month, 77 titles were removed district-wide. They're porn. You've had knowledge of porn infesting, polluting all your libraries for years. I found enough to bring you a couple samples today. This is not classic literature. I won't say too many bad words that'll need you to turn off my mic. I'm bringing one formal challenge, as I do every month, as per state limits and statutes, and one informal. We'll talk about the informal one. Title, I Was Here by Gail Foreman. It's clearly pornographic. There's a lot of words I can't say. It's a line I think I'll read for you. There's an achiness between my legs, my virginity freshly gone. That's good enough. You get the idea what else happens on that page. And as for the formal challenge, it's called Disclosure by Michael Crichton. This is not the classic literature we should be standing up and having our children defend access to. But here we are. I don't even know what I can read from this. She liked to do it in dangerous places. Okay, that's not a deal breaker. She's one of the great something suckers. Use your imagination. That one's kind of a deal breaker for me, but it's not my problem. My kid's not in your library anymore. Then his fingers were in her, and it only gets worse from there. These kids are not being denied great literature. The shelves are empty because your librarians, your specialists, filled them with crap. Hire better specialists, buy better books. Have a nice day.
Next up, we have Miss Vicki Kidwell with CCEA update.
I brought some master teachers with me today. Good evening, members and school board members and superintendent. Clay County District Schools has the most dedicated, talented educators in Florida. And they really are doing an amazing job, despite the workload and the challenges of a career that require more time and energy every year. Last year's bargaining data revealed that Clay County has a 58% majority of veteran educators. Over 1,700 career educators work in Clay with experience ranging from 8 to 44 years. These dedicated veterans love Clay County and they want to stay. They mentor, support, share, and befriend the next generation of career educators. Veterans are the heart of our schools, and we must have a plan of action to keep them here. Our surrounding counties have a plan to lure them away with highly competitive salaries. Duval has bargained a salary supplement that ranges from $3,000 to $7,000. And St. John's has just signed an agreement to provide salary supplements based on experience as well. The St. John's annual supplements will boost salaries from $4,000 to $8,000. They will begin this in the next school year. Clay needs a plan too. Without a plan for educator retention, I fear an accelerated exodus of our talented veteran educators. This would be devastating for our new teachers, our district, our students, and our community. No one believes that students will excel when classrooms are led by rotating substitutes and uncertified instructors. Who would accept a substitute airline pilot, a substitute accountant, therapist, or nurse? Our students and our community deserve the best that we can give them. The teacher shortage is real, and a strong contract, positive working environment, and competitive salaries are all necessary to help Clay avoid a talent exodus to surrounding counties. Today, these master educators are attending, and there's a lot more with them. They want you to know that they love teaching in Clay County, and they really hope that they can afford to stay here. And I really want you to read what's on the back of their shirts. Turn around.
Can you just read it for us because we can't see?
Sometimes the best professional learning is collaborating with the veteran teacher down the hall. And that's the truth. I know from my own experience.
And then next up, we have a CESFA update, but I don't see Mr. Lonnie here. So we will start with the superintendent update. Mr. Brodsky.
Okay, just a couple quick things before we get started here. I might want to bring the Argyle kids back. Anybody in favor of that? So a couple things. And when talking about books, and let me just say this, it's books that are violating Statute 847 that are removed, then parents have the right to choose whether they want their kids to read books of controversial nature or not. So that's kind of the board's policy on that. I think there's some misinterpretation there. When it comes to behavior of employees, one of the challenges is I used to have the HR role here, so I know all too well, it's very difficult to speak about those types of items. Believe me, you'd like to say those things about that situation, but it's very difficult because the district's always in a position where we're trying to not invite litigation on that. So I can say hypothetically, in a situation, individual's been fired, recommended, thrown to the police, reported to professional practices, and there was a meeting of all parents involved in the program. Very difficult to go above that in the process. So I don't usually talk almost ever. This might be the first time I've ever spoken about an employee or a former employee or a situation, but I think sometimes people just need to know Facebook is not real. It's not really a thing. And so what you read, I would read with caution. So let's go ahead and let's talk about schools. We got our schools of the month, students of the month, volunteers, college graduation celebration, our One Clay app, and upcoming events. I'll go quickly through it. First of all, our schools of the month, Marvelous March. We have Oakley Village Elementary, Ridgeview High School are the two winners. Let me just say a big shout out to Community First that invested time, money, and resources into celebrating our schools. You can see all the winners each month and how they've done that. It's been a tremendous year. They're a great community partner, so thank you so much. Super Students of the Month. This might be my favorite thing to do as superintendent. Here you have Lilani from Grove Park Elementary School. What a cute kid. Extremely the model citizen at Grove Park. Every student, every teacher walking, and when the kid was walking down the hall, everyone knew who the child was in the school. Fantastic young lady. And then we had Kiana from Oakleaf Junior High, compassionate community members, a fantastic basketball player there, their undefeated team. Very proud, telling me all about that. I hand them one of those signs and I tell them I'm going to go by their house and see if they put that sign out there. You know, of course I say it jokingly. It's one of the few jokes I get to pull as superintendent. She sent me an email the day after, so I just want to show you the picture of the sign as verification. You don't need to come by our house. And I thought, okay, she took me seriously, like I was going to come by her house. I thought it was pretty funny. Then we had Riley from Ridgeview High School, an IB student that you see there, ranks third in her class. So imagine the opportunities, the future's bright for her. Co-president, National Honor Society, vice president of the senior class, and a board member on top of that. Some fantastic students out there. Volunteerism, want to talk about, it was the mission of the board. The board throughout the gauntlet, one of our 5 strategic plan initiatives deals with family engagement. And so we're always looking for ways for people to be involved. You hear me talk about it all the time. I always talk about it in a math term because I think it's just easier to understand. Parents have students 86% of the time. Schools have them 14% of the time. When you do the math on the number of hours in a year and you do the time, so it seems like we need to do a better job of engaging parents to be involved in their child's education. And so that's what that's about. We've done several things, from the board's direction under the strategic plan, but we've established a community engagement department. We've had our first round of volunteers. Paula Summers, I don't think she's here still, but went out and trained everybody on the new system for volunteers, and it's really paid dividends as far as our number of volunteers in our schools. It's a brand new web page, a new handbook. The quickness by which we've done background checks, because we've added additional layers of security with that, and everybody recognizes that. So the numbers are, you can see up there, 8,700 volunteers registered in Raptor. So the idea would be we can kind of capture those hours. A level 1 volunteer would be a person such as a homeroom mom or an individual that's in the school that doesn't require fingerprinting because they're not ever alone with students. And level 2 are ones that were fingerprinted through the whole state background check. So you can kind of see what those numbers are. So we're tracking all of that information. And they're doing a fantastic job of engaging our community. College graduation celebration, we're always looking for good people. So here you go, April 14th, 5:37, right here. Anybody with a college degree can come by here. You can see the QR code there. We want to talk to you about opportunities for you within Clay County Schools. We're always recruiting. So that's a little pitch from our Human Resources Department. Please come by if you're listening. The One Clay app reminder, just a reminder, you might have noticed we got brand new websites out there for all of our schools, but also we're going to start the process of bringing rooms on board. It's a communication tool So eventually, what we heard from parents and teachers was there's too many forms of communication, too many vehicles of communication. Like one teacher might require this, another teacher requires this, and then the parents trying to figure out 5 apps and trying to do the myriad stuff. So there'll be one form of communication through this particular portal. So we're looking forward to kicking that off. The communication cadre, led by Terry, is doing a great job of bringing us in line with that. Upcoming events: Month of the Military Child, School Library Month. Florida School Volunteer Appreciation Month is right now in April. School Librarian Day. Math Field Day is tomorrow, right? That's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. One of my favorite events in the whole year is that a whole gym packed with people excited about math. I was never that excited about math, so I'll just kind of throw that out there. National Assistant Principal Week. Purple Up Day is the 16th. Make sure you wear your purple. Of course, Good Friday and the Easter holiday, and then Public School Volunteer Week. So thank you so much. I appreciate everyone's support.
School board attorney remarks.
Madam Chair, just notify the board at some point we'll be bringing to you scheduling a shade meeting for some pending litigation. So there's a need to discuss that with the board. So when we get to that point, we'll let you know. Thank you.
So if I can just kind of weigh in, we saw the veteran teachers up there. Appreciate that. Know many of you, and you guys do an awesome job, no doubt about it. And just from both my heart and my wallet, we all have the same objective that you have regarding this. So one of the things I'd like to throw out there is maybe some folks that you should be talking to aren't in this room. They're in Tallahassee right now related to that. If you take a look at the current budget that's being proposed in Tallahassee, it winds up being about a $6 million decrease when you look at the overall budget. Also, when you look at programs that are extremely valuable, CTE programs, AP, IB, ACE, dual enrollment, those programs have all been cut. I'm seeing parents and others mobilizing about these programs, and I get that. So when you're talking about teacher compensation, that money comes from a different source. It comes from the legislature to the district to have that. So in addition, when you look at scholarships or vouchers, you're looking at, in my 4 years as superintendent, it went from 2 million to 10 million to 17 million to 24 million, right? So that's money that's coming from the district in order to pay for, in some cases, students that are in private school. So when you're looking for resources and what money the district has towards veteran teachers, I think you're missing some very valuable people in the process that aren't in this room. So it's just a little food for thought, because we all have the same thought on the topic. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And we're going to go to school board member remarks.
Can I go first?
You sure
Sometimes
can.
the students leave.
Ms. Hanson, go ahead.
I've never gotten to. I wanted to address the high school students today. First, number one, thanks for your bravery. And be exemplary speakers under stress when you had 3 minutes. And your message was clear. One of you said, you were talking about why we have so many books. By the way, not banned. Improper terminology, if you read the dictionary definition. They are removed here but banned nowhere else. And I wanted to talk to you about something one of you said. We have more than anyone else. Under that assumption, it makes it look like we're wrong. But I can tell you I've read most of them. And I'm going to tell you this also. One day, I'm at school board training, and there's a lady next to me. And she's like, oh, I've been on the school board 12 years or whatever. And she said, what county are you from? And I said, Clay County. And she said, oh, you're from Clay County. I said, yes. If you would like to see the list of the books that we removed, I have a code here that you could go look at them And so I'm going to tell you exactly why the other districts do not remove books. Not because they're good for kids, not because they just don't want to ban books. She looked me dead in my eye, and I will remember this the rest of my life, and said, "Do not tell me a single title, or I'll be forced to remove the porn too." You tell me why a school board member should be on a school board who literally just doesn't want to know about it because it's too much work. This district has worked very, very hard. Am I completely happy with the way we do procedure? No. But I've seen the books that we've removed. And if you need them that badly, because I can tell you 10 years ago when I was teaching high school, we didn't have these books, and we were doing just fine. But the point is, if you really do need them that badly, you should really talk to your parents because they're everywhere else. And from the bottom of my heart, I am telling you, I was a high school English teacher, and I agree with you on the premise that you should read, and learn valuable lessons and grow in this life. But the books that we removed were not the kind of growth I would want to see from such nice young ladies. I also wanted to say that I visited the Oakleaf area, speaking to teachers this week. I'm on track to actually speaking with almost 350 teachers by the time I'm done, which is well over 10% of our teachers. That's about 15% of our teachers. I was hoping to reach 20%, but that's a big number. They're brave, they're smart, they're articulate, they come with solutions. If I ask them to think about something and email me, they do. They're absolutely incredible people. Some might call them complainers, but not one of them came complaining. Not one of them talked bad about a principal or an administrator. Not one of them talked bad about their schools. What they talked about was just compelling about how I can't afford to be a teacher, or how long I've been a teacher, and this is how much I'm making. And I have to tell you, it's so gut-wrenching. I sat 6 hours on Tuesday. 6 hours I sat and talked to teachers. I can't even sleep at night sometimes. And honestly, it's on my mind now 24 hours a day. And I'm thinking of ways to help make it better. And there are teachers thinking of ways to help make it better. While I was over in Oakleaf, I got to visit our new edition of our 32 stack. It had a roof on it. We'll have 32 new classrooms at Oakleaf and at Lake Asbury. We are doing a phenomenal job, and I want to just give a lot of praise to the people who keep that on target and keep us within budget, and it certainly looks like they'll be done on time, and so I appreciate that. And lastly, I went to Oakleaf High School for their jazz night. If you ever get a chance to go to one of their combined music nights, they have a night where Oakleaf Juniors kids come and then Oakleaf High School kids play jazz last Tuesday. What's really remarkable is the junior high band is just kicking it. I mean, you would not know that these kids have only been playing 1 or 2 years. And what's more encouraging now is we're going to have a whole bunch of 6th graders in middle school learning music as well, and it will accelerate our fine arts program. And just thank you. I'm proud to serve with you all, and that's all I have to say. Ms. Clark?
I really wasn't going to say anything tonight, but I guess I will.
Thank you.
So, I do want to compliment the students for coming forward and speaking tonight. It's very important, and it's a good thing to learn to do. But if you were listening like I was, and I know you were, there's a lot of confusion about whether we're banning books, because we've had people come forward and tell us we're banning books. We've had people come forward and tell us we need to remove these books. So that tells you there's a lot of misinformation. And there's a lot of books I wouldn't want on the shelves, but that's not my choice. That's the parents' choice, and we have given our parents that choice. So please, we know that the news isn't very accurate at times, but review your information carefully and let's have a discussion, because I think we all want the same thing for our students. In fact, I have Fahrenheit 451 on my bookshelf with umpteen hundreds of other books. As far as the workshops and recording, I think we've had a couple of glitches over our last few meetings. In fact, I think it was a December 18th workshop. Everything I said at one point is gone. So it just happens. And I know that our IT department is working on it, and hopefully everything is fixed, but things just happen. And as far as the ELA, it's, I've not been in the classroom. I have done other things, except when I was a future teacher of America, and we won't go back to when that was. But I know that we've got a lot of retired teachers from Clay that don't understand why we don't use rigs. And I would love to see how we can get that to come forward, if it's even possible. But that's something I have to ask a lot of questions about. Anyway, speaking of events, Math Field Day Saturday, one of my favorite. And if they knew I were judging their papers, no tell them. But of course, we've got the Clay Fair and lots of things to do, and that'll be fun for this county. So thank you.
Mr. Alvaro?
I want to say that I want to reiterate that we do have a anti-bullying policy. Before I read this message, I received an email from one of my constituents, and she asked me to read it to you, to the public. Members of the board, in light of recent events that they have transpired within the district, I am asking the board to draft a new policy regarding bullying, harassment, hazing, picking on, assaulting, stalking, or any other term you feel necessary to address the behaviors within our district. It is time that zero tolerance actually means just that. It's time the district holds students accountable for their actions, that the district notifies the parents of the aggressors and the victims. It is time that the district holds the perpetrators of these incidents accountable. Further, I request that the board in the new policy hold district staff accountable for creating safe school environments for all students, and if they fail to do so, they are removed from their positions. For years, we have heard various parents speaking at board meetings stating that their child is being victim of bullying, and nothing has been done. We have all heard the stories of parents removing their children from our public schools because of the actions of other students and the failures of the schools to protect their kids. When is enough actually enough? I am asking this board to take immediate action and protect all students in Clay County. Patricia Schaefer. I say to Patricia Schaefer that we are going to look at our anti-bullying policy with fresh eyes, and we're going to do our best to stop whatever we can stop from happening. Thank you.
Ms. Gilhausen?
I don't have a whole lot to add. I think you guys have all kind of touched on everything. Thank you to our veteran teachers for showing up tonight. It's great to see your faces and just know how valued you are by this board and by the children who benefit from your instruction every day and the families that you serve. You guys there's no price tag that we could attach to the work that you do. And I hope you know how much we care and appreciate the job that you do for all the kids in Clay County. And to our high school students that showed up and spoke tonight, I applaud you for your bravery and engaging in civil conversations about a really difficult topic. And I just hope that you continue to learn and you continue to grow as students here in Clay County. And that's all I have.
I just want to end with this. I hope we could see all of you at our celebrity swine show. Who's, because I'm going to win this year, now that they're not going to trade my pig out. Is anybody else going? Oh, I am.
Ms. Skipper, I thought about going, but my knees are so bad, I felt like I would fall over, and that would be an embarrassment, so I turned it down.
It's April
I turned it
12th. You
down.
could come watch us.
I turned it down.
All right, this meeting is adjourned.